Hi guys, welcome or welcome back again to another video. I think most of you on this channel are very observant than I thought. I did a video, I think it was a car video I did when I was talking about me dragging my UK landlord to court. And like some of you guys concentrated on the content, but others went a bit step ahead and they saw that I was sitting in a car and they assumed or they just thought that I think this girl is driving now. Why doesn't she talk about driving in the UK? So he gave me a video idea, and that is what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So hey guys, welcome. If it is the first time I've seen my face, my name is Becca. I'm an overseas nurse from Ghana. I'm currently practicing and living in England. And if you are new to this channel, a very big thank you to you. Consider subscribing for more details and more content about nursing and basically overseas support, everything concerning nursing. I do lifestyle videos, a little bit of me and positive vibes here and there. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about driving in the UK. I'm going to be organizing this video into two parts. That is driving in the UK if you already know how to drive from overseas, and driving as a first-time driver or driving as a first-time learner. At a point in the next video, I'm going to be talking about buying a car in the UK. But before you buy a car, you certainly need to learn how to drive a car first or get the necessary requirements for driving the car. So that is basically what I'm going to be doing in today's video. If you are driving a manual car or if you are doing a license for a manual car, you can use the manual license to drive both the manual and the automatic car. But if you are doing the license for the automatic car only, your license is restricted to driving only an automatic car. I don't know if it makes sense. So if you're doing a manual driving license, your license can cover you to drive both a manual and an automatic car. But if you are learning or you are having the license for just the automatic, you can't use that license to drive a manual car. You just need to use that license to drive only an automatic car. So before you get a UK's driver's license, there are certain requirements that you should meet. And the number one requirement is for you to be above 17 years. The next requirement is for you to meet the eyesight test or the eyesight requirement, and that means you should be able to read up to 20 meters with or without glasses. So you can read up to 20 meters with or without glasses. That is also a requirement. And the last but certainly not the least requirement is to have a provisional license. So you can't jump into having your standard license without having your provisional license. So these are the basic requirements that you should have. If you want to get a provisional license, I'm going to leave the link in the description box so that you can use that link to apply for your provisional license, which is between 34 to 43 pounds. And what you have to do is, if you want to apply for the provisional license, there are two ways of going about it. You can either apply for it in post or online. So when you apply for it, they are going to be giving you a form. You fill that form and you attach your biometric resident permit with a form. You send it over to DVSA's address, and they are going to be giving you your provisional license between 2 to 3 weeks by post. After you've gotten that provisional license, that is the first step that takes you to acquiring your full driver's license. So I'm going to be telling you first the process I used, and then I'll tell you the other standard process that you can use. So for me, I know how to drive already from Ghana, but the only problem I had was I didn't know I could use my Ghanaian driver's license up to a year of coming into the UK. So I spent a lot of time without driving because I didn't even have the interest of driving in the first place. And then when reality hit me that I needed to drive, it was almost over a year and I couldn't even get a center to write the exams. So what I did, which is also a recommended pathway to use, is to learn the driving by using friends and family. And you can use this route. Is the fastest route to use if you already know how to drive and you just want to get used to the system or used to the roads here in the UK. If you want to drive by using the family and friends, the family or friend that is going to be teaching you should be above the age of 21 and should hold a full UK's driver's license for more than 3 years. So above the age of 21 and should be a UK's driver's license full holder for more than 3 years. The driving test is divided into two parts, which is the theory and the practicals. So you have to sit for your theory test, which is a computer-based test, before you do your practical test. Without passing your theory test, you can't do your practical test. And before I forget, your provisional license has no expiry date. So once you have a provisional license, you can hold it for as long as you want whilst you work on having your license. But if you write your theory test is valid for 2 years. And within that 2 years, you should complete your practical exams to have your full license. Otherwise, you would need to reset your theory test. Now I'm going to be talking about the theory test. So the theory test is basically 50 objective questions or 50 multiple choice questions and 14 clips of hazard perception. So I will leave I'll share screenshots of applications that I used and links that I used to study in my description box or on the screen like this. So I used applications to learn, which are free online. And then at a point, a friend gave me a link to a book which I purchased at £10 for 3 months. And I used this book in 2 weeks and I wrote the exams and I passed because the questions are basically the same. So once you are able to go through all these questions, you will be able to pass. So for the 50 objective questions, you are expected to get a 43 over 50, which is the pass mark. So you get 43 over 50, you have passed the multiple choice questions. And for the hazard perception, it is 14 clips which depict a day-to-day driving experience. So they are going to be showing you, like, maybe you're driving on a road, you've seen school children, you've seen animals. They are basically testing how you react to hazards. And for this hazard perception questions, which is 14 clips, you should get a pass mark of 45 over 71. So what I will recommend is, when you see the hazard, it's all on the computer. So you are driving, you have seen a hazard. The first time you see the hazard, you should click on your cursor. You're not going to be seeing the cursor on the screen, but you basically click on the cursor. And I would recommend you not to click more than 5 times, because the more you click, the more inappropriately you are responding to this hazard. And for the multiple choice, you can set for it as many times as you want, but it has to be 3 working days between each of them. So let's say you set for one time, you didn't get it, you can write and write and write until you get it, but you have to leave a minimum of 72 hours between each sitting. And you can go to the DVSA's website to look at the list of the centers where you can write your exams based on your location. The multiple choice questions are basically from the highway code, which you should know. It is over 300 pages book, which is quite a bit of information. And then all these questions come from the highway code. So the highway code has sub questions under it. That is basically rules for pedestrians, rules for use of powered vehicles, rules for animals, rules for cyclists, rules. There are a lot of things in the highway code, and you should master the highway code. When you start driving, this highway code is going to be very, very important. And then at the end of the multiple choice, that same day, you set for the hazard perception. So it's just a brief break between the two, but you set for both on the same day. Now, after you've written your theory test, you can start your driving lessons. Some people also start the driving lessons when they haven't even written the theory test, but I find it to be very expensive. However, if you can afford it, you go for it. So you can look for driving schools that are closer to you. You do the lessons. The instructor is going to be taking you through the road, expose you to the road, teach you things like the parallel parking, the motorway, the roundabout. And these are things that you should really know, because the roundabout here are different from what we know back home. They are just making you get used to the roads, and especially because the UK drives on another hand side that is really different from other parts of the world. So the instructor will take you through some lessons, and the number of lessons you do depend on how fast you are picking or how the instructor thinks you are doing. Some people do 20 hours of practicals, some do 15 hours, some do 30 hours. It depends on you. So after you have finished your practical test, which can be done by an instructor or can be taught by a family or friend, you can book for your theory test, which is about 65 quid or 65 pounds, and then you go, and then an instructor tests you on the road. So the instructor sits by you and goes on the road with you. He does the roundabout with you. So when you get to the roundabout, he is looking at how you are using your traffic indicators to indicate or initiate your curvings on the roundabout. They will take you to the motorway for you to drive on the motorway for them to see. They will let you use all the indicators in the car. So probably you are driving, they will tell you, can you show me the hazard light? Whilst you are driving, they are sitting by, can you show me the hazard light? Can you show me the left indicator? Can you show me the right indicator? Can you wash your car screen? Can you bring your glasses down? Can you flash your light? Can you sound your horn? These are just some examples that they will be taking you through, and then they would see how good you are actually on the road and how confident you are. All in all, I'll say is it all depends on confidence. And I don't know if it's because I was driving back home, so I didn't find it as a struggle, but I know lots of people that wrote the exams more than once. But if you are determined, you can make it. Driving is a basic necessity which helps you to go around and do your basic needs, especially if you have kids and you have to do school rounds. You would have to learn how to drive. It's not difficult. Initially, I thought I would never be able to drive because they were driving on a different side of the road. But when I started with time, it came. It just started to flow. So that is what I would have to tell you about driving in the UK. Probably I'll do a video sharing some of the questions that are asked about driving, especially the theory questions. If you are looking forward to drive, I wish you all the very best in your driving test, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more updates. Until we meet again in my next video, guys, it's bye for now. Adios.